If you have a dog that's scared of thunder or fireworks, then you might find the relaxation routine I use for my dogs helpful in this storm or fireworks season. I'm a dog trainer, and I've been living with two big dogs with several fear based issues over the last 4 years, and I've had to go deep into the science of dog training to help my two dogs have a good quality of life. This is my older dog, Domino, and he's the most soft hearted, cuddly, and affectionate pit bull in the world. So I was surprised one night to find him pacing all over the house with heavy panting and trembling. I consulted a vet behaviorist and was able to find a medication that sedated him enough to be able to rest through thunderstorms and fireworks. But I wanted to do more than getting my dog high as a kite every time there was a storm. I came across the solution while studying at Victoria Stilwell's Dog Training Academy. I learned about concepts like creating a conditioned emotional response, which helps change the emotions your dog feels towards something they see, hear, touch, smell, etc. I was also shown how dogs learn all the time, not just when we're training, and about a study suggesting that dogs find slow piano music relaxing. And that's what gave me the idea for my protocol. Before I go into that protocol, I want to cover off on common signs that your dog is anxious or agitated about something. Not all dogs respond the same way, and many of us, including me, miss the telltale signs because our dogs can't speak and choose to communicate with their bodies instead. Some signs that your dog is scared include frantic pacing, disinterest in foods that they usually love, like peanut butter, boiled chicken, etc., heavy panting when they're not performing any exerting activity or when the climate isn't really hot in the room, whale eye, which is where you can see the whites of their eyes because they're looking in a direction different from where they're facing, compulsive behavior like digging, excessive licking or chewing, urinating inside the house when they usually don't, multiple times, their ears being pinned back, shivering or trembling, whining or whimpering, lip or nose licks when they're not necessarily focused on any treats or food, and just a general restlessness. If you see some of these signs happening during a thunderstorm or while fireworks are going off, there's a chance that your dog is somewhat afraid of these noises. I'm hoping that the process I describe helps your dog as much as it's helped mine. Step 1. Pairing relaxation and positive emotions with a specific music track. Based on what I'd learned over the years and during the course that I took, I knew that dogs find licking a frozen enrichment toy with their favorite treats soothing, and that, like Pavlov, I could pair this with a certain music so that the music track itself would be calming to the dogs. I could then play the music during storms or fireworks evenings to drown out some of the noise. So I started doing this every day, where I would play the same slow piano track on my speakers at a pleasant volume and then bust out the licky mat or gong for them to enjoy. Step 2. Desensitizing the dogs to the sounds of fireworks or thunder. Once I'd done this step for about 5 days in a row, and I knew my dogs expected good calming things to start happening when that music was playing, I started playing thunder and fireworks sounds for exactly 1 second at a volume where my dogs noticed the sounds, but they weren't startled or afraid. As soon as I played the sound, I would also toss a treat next to my dog's licky mat or gong so that the sound started predicting a yummy extra treat. Every 2 to 3 evenings, I would increase the volume by about 10% and I'd dial it back down if my dog showed any signs of fear or anxiety, and I'd continue this protocol. This helped my dog get used to these sounds and pair these sounds with relaxing and good things in a calm environment. I also took care that nothing bad happened to my dog during this time. I'm saying no yelling, no irritating or annoying the dog, no forcing them to do anything they don't like forced cuddles or wrestling that we're all guilty of doing with our dogs, no exciting games, no punishment at all. After doing this every evening for a month, I saw some positive results without sedating my dog when we were caught by a surprise thunderstorm. Here we can see Domino, and he's quite anxious from the thunderstorm. Kai is able to enjoy his licky mat on the other side of the baby gate, but Domino is not even paying any attention to it, even though I'm tossing treats down. There's peanut butter on it, there's yogurt, and it's actually a mixture of peanut butter and honey, which he really, really loves. And he's got a really stiff body language. His ears are pinned back, and he starts pacing all over the place. So you can see he ignored the treats over there. He went back and forth pacing. He's shivering a little. His ears are pinned back. His pupils are dilated. There's that nose lick over there. Overall, he is extremely anxious. He can't understand what's going on. The music's playing in the background. He's in the middle of the house. I ended up also closing the door to make sure that he didn't hear as much of the sound as could be blocked off while he was anxious. I asked him to perform some simple skills that he was really confident with and good at, and toss treats into his snuffle mat to engage his most powerful sense, which is his sense of smell, so that he'd be able to concentrate on something other than the noises and still feel successful. Another good game that I like to use with Domino is to engage him in a game of get the treat out of my hand. It's good for treat motivated dogs that don't necessarily bite too hard, because it can be painful if your dog is trying to nibble their way into getting the treat out of your hands. Finally, after about half an hour, he drank some water and settled down on his side, which compared to New Year's Eve, where he was up well past midnight from 7 p.m. because the fireworks caught us off guard, despite being given his prescribed medication, this was a huge improvement for me. I hope you find this video useful. One final thought, don't expect immediate results. It takes a lot of consistent work to see results when they're trying to change an emotional response. And remember, it's okay to comfort your dog during such times, because you're not rewarding any undesirable behavior. You're helping reduce the emotional stress your dog is feeling during that time that they're confused and overwhelmed.